So Mitch McConnell is again launching idle threats about the filibuster, saying that if the Democrats touch the filibuster, it won't be scorched earth this time. It's going to be nuclear winter. That's what Mitch McConnell said on a podcast. But again, guys, I want to make it clear that no matter how much Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham wail and moan about their beloved filibuster, they really don't have all that much power here. And if the Democrats can get together, and that's a big if they can get together to agree to abolish or reform or temporarily suspend the filibuster, there's nothing really Mitch McConnell and his cohort of Republican ghouls can do to stop it. But what's really interesting is that Biden more and more, and we've talked a little bit about this, seems publicly and privately willing to change the filibuster rule, either permanently reform it back to the talking filibuster and maybe suspend it for certain types of votes like voting rights and other crucial pieces of legislation. Because Axios came out with some very interesting reporting this morning about behind-the-scenes discussion Biden has been having with historians. Big-name American historians in a private, undisclosed meeting with Biden basically had a chat with him about the history of American politics and presidents and policy, and how other presidents like FDR and Lyndon Johnson went big at certain moments in American history, what their mistakes were, but also what they could achieve. And Biden is basically asking them, can I go big? How big should I go? And the historians are saying you can go very big. And shockingly to me, guys, as somebody who's been critical of Biden as being far too institutionally conservative, he may be willing to go bigger than I and many others thought. Let me read you this reporting. It says here, people close to Biden tell us he's feeling bullish on what he can accomplish and is fully prepared to support the dashing of the Senate's filibuster rule to allow Democrats to pass voting rights and other trophy legislation for his party. He loves the growing narrative that he's bolder and bigger thinking than President Obama. This temptation to go even bigger, Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell insists, will create such a fissure between the parties that he's compared it this week to a quote-unquote nuclear winter. But we're told Biden won't hesitate. Just as he passed the $1.9 trillion COVID rescue package with 0 Republican votes and 0 regrets, his team sees little chance he's going to be able to rewrite the government in his image if he plays by the rules of bringing in at least 10 Republicans. That's what you need to pass the filibuster. He won't rub their noses in it, we're told. That'll be the Biden touch to rolling the opposition and getting that much closer to the status of latter-day FDR. Now look, this is obviously very optimistic, and no one should assume that Biden is going to be like FDR or even Johnson. I just don't expect it. He doesn't have the votes, because even if you do get rid of the filibuster, there's too many moderate Democrats. But he could achieve a lot more than Obama, a lot more than Clinton, a lot more than other recent presidents in American history, because the people are more progressive. And while there are a lot of moderates in the Democratic caucus, there are more progressives than ever. And the House, as we've seen, is passing very progressive legislation. This is extremely encouraging because it shows that Biden is a believer in bipartisanship, but unlike he and Obama were 10, 11 years ago, they don't believe in it so dogmatically that they're going to prioritize getting a Republican to vote for a bill over getting help to people. Again, I've talked about this. Bernie Sanders, his influence is being felt. Not enough. Bernie should be president, but his influence is being felt. He's told Biden, and he's told other Democrats, people don't give a damn about bipartisanship if they get the help they need. They don't. And at the end of the day, Biden and his people have noted that his packages have popularity not just with Democrats and not just with independents, but with Republican voters and in many cases local Republican officials who appreciate the stimulus package for how it's going to make their jobs easier recovering from this global crisis, this national and international crisis. If you're a Republican mayor, you can say you love Trump all you want, but you need this stimulus deal so your town doesn't collapse, right? So your state government doesn't collapse. So this is a big deal. Joe Biden seems to be saying behind the scenes, where you would expect he would be more honest because he has no reason to sugarcoat private discussions as much as he would a high-profile interview, that the Republican bluff is being called. We saw Chuck Schumer roll his eyes when Mitch McConnell made the scorched earth comment. And Biden, at least in some way, is rolling his eyes here too. Again, a lot needs to happen. You still need Manchin and Sinema and the other Democrats on every vote, even if you do suspend or reform or get rid of the filibuster. If Manchin's not going to vote for it and you can't pull in Collins or Murkowski, all the filibuster reform in the world won't be enough. You need at least 50 votes, best case. Best case scenario. But Biden is surprising me. And if he continues being bold like this, my goodness, guys, some good stuff might get done. And that's good to see.